a death toll was recorded in a collapse of a building at Cantonment in Accra. I don't know whether you know the location of the building.
I know it very well.
Okay, and now we're told that the number from 1 has risen to 3. It even includes the owner, and 20 others have been rescued, but also sustaining some level of injuries. The rescue workers included the police, of course, we know the military, the National Disaster Management Organization, and others who picked 2 more bodies on Sunday after Saturday's report of 1 dead. I believe all of you should be close to this very incident because of many things. I start with you.
Yes, well, I know the location. I pass it every morning. I passed it yesterday morning.
Where exactly is it? Is it from the street back road?
It's near the Vice President's official residence.
Okay, so from GIS area to that?
From GIS area, in fact, from the American Embassy roundabout, you're heading towards the Webster University in that corner there, and then I don't know if it's the first or second turning, but literally it's within 300 yards of American Embassy, you can say.
Okay, so close to the Du Bois area? No, not
yeah,
that end.
Close, but not close. In a different direction. But I mean, I think the issue here.
Restaurant, some restaurant, something restaurant there.
But near Captain Hook, yes.
Captain
so Webster's University, you turn the corner, here's Captain Hook. But if you go straight on, there's a number of things happening there. Lots of building work going on in that area. And this is not the first time that we've seen a collapse, maybe perhaps the last time. Only this year, earlier this year, as you come towards Akai Clinic, there was a new construction going on there, which sadly, also collapsed. I don't think it was widely reported. I don't think anybody was injured. But the situation must be brought under control, particularly when there are lots of private development, construction work going on. It's discouraging that we've seen the Melcombe disaster, we've seen various collapsing buildings in the last couple of years, and we don't seem to have brought the necessary building control into place.
That place is the bourgeois area, so for many of you who will be able to afford those areas, we can put a lot of control on you.
It's not a matter of bourgeois, it's a matter of whether we have systems that work. It's a matter of whether we have systems that work, and I hope that NADMO's involvement this time around, they were not picking up bodies in trucks. I hope that they had body bags. I hope that they were able to behave in a professional manner, that and those who have sadly lost their life were treated with dignity. You know, we need a country which has systems that work. Our population, our citizens, whether in life or in death, are treated with dignity. So many lessons we hope have been learned and hopefully applied in this instance. It's a tragic situation, but we need to understand why this is happening. We need to understand why we are, in a situation where constructing not a very huge, construction. If you go to other jurisdictions, we are building 1 kilometer high towers in Dubai and places like that, high towers in Europe, high towers in many other places, Malaysia, Singapore. If you're building a 3-story, 4-story building in this country and it collapses, you have to ask why. In this day and age, you have to ask why.
Okay. So basically, they're fundamentals, and Dr. Mambo Roxon, it's a very tragic incident, though. Yeah. And you know very well, it seems, the owner who also lost their life. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm not. I heard from the news, from the paper review this morning, that Dr. Prosper Dabla was one of the casualties.
And you know him?
Well, we sit on the same board, and he's a very good friend of mine. Just 2 weeks ago, we were in Takoradi together. In fact, there was a live band where all of us were sitting together and chatting. So I'm really sad. I'm with a very deep heart this morning. If that is true, I'm very sad, because I'm not believing it. I don't think.
Please believe it. It's happened. Yeah, the pictures just came.
Because what is humanity?
It's a very tragic incident.
I heard it this morning, and that's so, because he was talking to me about this particular building, how he was looking forward to get it completed, and that it was pre-rented.
But there are issues about how we need to maintain the standards. You have lived in the US, etc. They've been building skyscrapers in the late 1800s. Nothing has happened.
And that is the
we just don't
my
seem to
colleague
follow
here was
orders.
talking about, we don't want to follow orders. Institutions too are not enforcing the orders.
No, beyond that,
know,
you're supposed to be an educated person. You should know that you have to do the right thing.
But you see, before you even cut the sod to construct a building in the U.S., you have all your permits together before you do it. If you don't do it and you start construction, there's a penalty for it.
And you don't do it on your own?
Yes.
You have to get a proper construction
proper
company.
Engineer to manage your building.
And there are regular inspections.
And there are regular inspections. Before you even start cutting the sod, you will have people come there to physically inspect.
If you want to build.
But in Ghana, what happens is...
I build my own house.
Yes, you just build your own house.
Call one mason, call this.
Call this, call this, call that, and then whether they are certified professionally or not, you don't care. You just pay them and mold the blocks. And when you're not there, instead of putting one bag for maybe 30 blocks, what they do is they just put half there, take the other half and sell it. You know, so it's very difficult, and we have to begin. Our institutions should begin to enforce regulations. It is not just in the building industry, everywhere. Just look at the streets. People are riding motors, people are doing things, whatever in town. And it's time, you know, whether it is MPP, NDC, CPP, PNC, we have to begin with institutions. And I'm very glad that my colleague here was talking about the inspections. It is not done by a government, it's done by institutions. So we have to begin to enforce those institutions to do the right job. And that is the municipalities, the district assemblies, the municipal assemblies. What are their roles? Their roles are to assist the central government in managing some of these things. But I don't even understand whether the DCEs or the MCEs understand their role. Some of them just think they have to wait for common fund to come and they disburse it. No, that is not it. What a DC is supposed to do is to work with his planning department, in this case with this cantonment building, to enforce building codes and to do regular inspections. One of the things that we lack in Ghana is inspection. Look at, just look at the Awoshi Road, that road between N1 towards Awoshi Junction. I mean, if you look whether there were inspections done or not, you cannot tell. Things have started falling apart. You know, the Chinese have finished the project and things have started falling apart. There are no inspections. And I wonder if we have inspectorate, whether Ministry of Roads and Highways have inspectorate division. And whether most of these municipalities, they actually have inspectorate divisions. And inspectorate divisions, quality control and inspections are most vital for the development of a country. When these two elements are missing in any work done, then there's nothing. Because if there's no quality and there are no inspections to prove those ingredients in the work done, then you find out that the project falls apart. So is what is happening in Ghana today. We need to really enforce regulations, and we need to call on DCEs, MCEs to wake up to these anomalies. You know, they are very, very serious.
And you mentioned the bourgeoisie. If the prominent in society are not setting the examples, how much more anybody else? Because
the big men.
Because yes, I mean, if you are the elite, whoever, but you are the leading individuals in society, you are the people who should be using the correct engineers, the correct designers. You should be following the right process so that, because you know, I don't have the details, but I'm sure that if a building has collapsed, there's a structural issue. There's an issue of design of the structure. So, you know, if you use a reputable member of any institution, whether architectural institutions,
that's your field, right?
engineering. Well, I'm a surveyor by profession. I'm a cost consultant by profession. If you use reputable institutions or people who are members of reputable institutions, you will probably not have this sort of thing happening. And sadly, I think that it will seem possible that reputable designers, reputable professionals in the construction sector are not being used. And it's sad if individuals who should be setting that example are not themselves following that example.
If you are saying individuals, I do not agree with you. Just watch what is happening in this country. You see a building coming up.
Yeah,
there is a red mark on it, stop work. But that building goes up anyway.
Well,
who do you blame?
The big men.
No, not the big man.
Yeah.
You blame the institution.
There are two sides.
You blame, yes.
The
institution wants you to stop.
Right.
You, the individual.
Can you come and write on a big man's house? You come and write, but you say, hey, do you know who I am?
No, but when you are enforcing the
immediately he slides the, when he's stopped by the police, he slides the window down. He said, do you know
enforcement.
Do you know who you have stopped?
No. It's very important.
That's the problem we have in our country.
Our institutions need to work.
Institutions need to
not
work,
the
yes.
individual.
The individuals need to also follow the right process.
Yes. You know, if you go to a municipal authority, tell me, what are the procedures to obtain a building permit? How many times have they come up to announce to people that when you want to construct a building, this is what you need to do? I mean, if you ask an ordinary person on the street, when you want to start a building, where do you go? You will not get a lot of people to answer.
If you're educated in this society, you are a prominent member of this society, and you want to embark on a process or a building or a venture, or you would certainly know, or you ask the right questions as to where you need to go.
What I'm saying is
and you'll be advised as to what you need to do.
What I'm saying
do you then do it?
There are some prominent members in this society, apart from reading academically as to building processes in Ghana, you might not know where to approach, where to go. Yes,
are you sure?
You might not know where to go.
You might not, but you have to ask the questions.
Whether you have to go to
you have to ask the right